got distant from each other, Kim working so much and me working, and I met somebody and started corresponding with them, and it just kind of grew from there, talking and everything. And I was just looking for the attention because I wasn't getting attention at home. And you know, it's just because you were busy and everything. To kill my pain of being distant and doing what I was doing, I would take more medication, and they just kept giving me more and more, and it was out of control. And that didn't help the situation at all, because he, you know, found like my prescription bottles and everything.
With me, it was, I was working all the time. Zach only saw me on the baseball field as a coach. He didn't really know me as a father. Really contemplating leaving my job. I'd been there for 15 years, making excellent, had an excellent income, helped them build this business from the ground up. And I mean, I was taking a huge step of faith to leave and not take any client list, not have anything saved up in the bank. I mean, but I really felt like God was calling me to do that. And it was everybody, through every person I met, every devotional I read, every scripture, was trust me and leave. Trust me and leave. And I just kept hearing that over and over, and finally doing that. So did that, got to spend some great time with Zach. But then we get to, while all this was going on, was kind of when that had happened with Colette, because I wasn't really emotionally there. I came home after the gym one morning, and the phone rings, and I pick up the phone, and it was this guy's wife saying, "Your wife is having an affair with my husband." I was like floored. I was like, surely not, this is a prank call. And I had to ask Colette, I think a few times before that, but it was always like, well, oh, he's just a friend. You know, I'd found out that she had bought like Christmas gifts for him, but she bought them for the whole family. So it was more of a, I think it was kind of a trying to hide it as a friend, but it wasn't. But you know, getting that phone call, and then I remember calling her home, and it was a struggle. It went on probably for 3 or 4 weeks, just hurt and anger and no trust.
Trying to talk through it.
Yeah, and the medication didn't help. And then I remember one night just going through our bank account, a couple $1,000 just gone. It was like, where? And then I start looking at all these charges and where they're all going, and I just couldn't believe it. And I was like, are you kidding me?
It was medications.
Medications and different things for basically to cover up her pain. And I still can remember, I mean, I came in and confronted her. She was laying on the couch, kind of halfway out of it, and I said, I'm done. I said, I've tried, and I've tried to forgive, and I can't do this anymore. I said, I'm done. And I was angry, and she was just like, okay. I mean, it's like it didn't even bother, but I knew that it wasn't her, but I was still angry. First thing I thought was, really? Are you kidding me, God? I mean, I left my job, I've turned my life over to you, and I've done all this stuff, and you're letting this happen. And I was blaming him for all this stuff. I remember looking at scripture, or opening up my Bible was the only thing I could do, and every place I opened up, you know, I keep referring to Craig, but it's like one of those, you open it up, it's like, nah, that's not what I want to hear. And I open it up again, and open it up again, it's the same thing. And so I turn around, I was sitting on the edge of the bed, and I stand up, and I just looked in the mirror, and I went, you freaking hypocrite. And it hit me all of a sudden. I was like, how can I expect God to forgive me for everything I've done, and I can't bestow that on the person I asked to spend the rest of my life with? And it's like, you have to work on this, and you have to do it. And it was a struggle. It was hard. It wasn't that night, but you know, just to go back, I think it was maybe a week before, when I'd found some more medications. Like, she would hide medication, I would find it, and I said, "This is it. I'm done." And I said, I remember talking to her.
Scared me.
I said,
I finally got scared.
Yeah, I said, "Don't make me choose."
Whenever we finally sat down, and he, you know, gave me the choice to, you know, straighten up or leave, I really got scared, and finally decided to just throw away my prescription bottles. I just poured them all out in the toilet, flushed them. I wasn't very godly. I wasn't a godly woman yet, and just decided, you know, I was asking him if he would help me, and so I did that, and then I actually started opening up and talking with you. And I also had like some credit cards, that he didn't know about, and finally just things came out, and then I lost my job, not because of the medications and everything. They were downsizing the office, so it just happened to fall then. So that was not anything that helped.
I don't think it just happened.
Well, true, yeah.
It was a God thing.
Yeah, and it's good that it happened, because I was home and we got closer and talked and worked through it.
Like I tell so many people when we talk about our story now, it's like, I don't wish it upon anybody, but I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it, because it's given us the story and of restoration and of forgiveness and of faith in our marriage today. That that can only be a God thing. It's not humanly possible. And I have so many men, it's like, how can you forgive? How could you just not walk out? And it's like, it wasn't me. It had nothing to do with me. Because if I would have been me, I would have left.